this setup, and here is how I never do. So this is gold, and my strategy is quite simple. So here's how I actually do this. So this is uptrending, right? And we have yesterday, or in the 4-hour time frame, gold made a fair value gap. So I marked the fair value gap out just so that I can wait for price to then fill in the fair value gap and then continue to the upside, right? So as of now, I've marked up the fair value gap, and I am simply waiting for price to reach this zone, and then I buy. It's quite simple, right? Yeah, it's quite simple. So let me show you exactly on how I actually managed to, how this setup actually works. If like you want to, just find some entries. Okay, so let's go back in time. Okay, back in time. Okay, so we can clearly see that on this particular date, it's 17th December, there was a fair value gap that was formed over here, right? Let me show you how my strategy applies here. So we take the rectangle, right? And we just draw it across over there, just like that. Okay. Notice how price behaves around this zone, okay? Just notice how price behaves around this zone. You see? It's quite simple and straightforward, isn't it? Now that I have marked my 4-hour fair value gap, right? I then drop to lower time frames, and in this instance, it's going to be the 1 hour, right? And on the 1 hour, you can clearly see that price is retracing down to the zone that I marked. It shows that price is respecting the fair value gaps that we just made. And that is the perfect entry. Like, let me show you, like, on this previous time frame, like on the past data of what happened. So okay, so the fair value gap was marked over here, right? It, however, did not come and fill in the zone because it thought it literally it did not respect the zone. Okay, but in the future, you notice that when price reached the fair value gap and filled it, it continued to go to the upside. It, in instance, it simply says our fair value gap was legit after all, because price literally reacted off of the fair value gap. So I see it as a working strategy. Now let's find some other examples where I can actually show you how this works. So we need to see, like, yes, a fair value gap where there are big moves. You see, where price makes those big moves. Okay, for instance, I think it's somewhere here. Oh, come on. Okay, there's the chart. Okay, so we want to see where price is making the big moves. Okay, in this case, let's look at this particular area and see what happened here. Okay, how about I simply say auto scale, and okay, nice. So notice how price moved extremely exponentially high, forming these 3 candles. And if you're wondering how fair value gaps are discovered, right, you simply check 3 candles, like the candle before the big move and the candle after the big move. The gaps in between is a fair value gap, like this one. The candle before the big move is this one, this green candle on the bottom there, and the candle after the big move is this red one over there. And notice how price broke out of our fair value gap and came in to fill it, to retest the zone, or fill in other words. It simply entered the fair value gap and reacted off insanely. Look at this. Just look at this. If you were to put your buy limit over here and take 1:2 risk to reward ratio, and your stop loss would be just below the zone. Yeah, like that. And notice how easy it is for you to turn your 900 bucks into $600. You see, it's actually simple, but once you grasp the strategy, it's actually never, it's not kind of difficult, because you can actually see what the moves are going to be before they even happen. Like, for instance, check at this zone here. There was a fair value gap that was formed, right? There was a fair value gap that was formed right about here. The candle before the big move and the candle after the big move. Notice how price gets in the zone, breaks below it, and reacts off of the zone. Like, let me mark out what I'm talking about. We want an arrowed line. This, okay. Notice how price broke below this zone, right? And reacted to go to the upside, because the bias of the market is going to the upside, right? And also notice how it reacts off of the zone here, just over here. It clearly reacts off of the zone, and yep, you named it, skyrockets to the moon. It's quite simple. And that's how you enter like those sniper entries. As of now, I am simply waiting for gold to reach my marked area, which is this one. If it touches this zone, I mean, if it okay, wait just a second. If gold is to drop to this zone, I am simply buying, because it has retested my fair value gap, plus the bias is an uptrend. Okay, market is trending to the upside, and well, it's kind of simple once you get how it works. If you don't understand yet, drop a comment in the comment section below saying the fair value gap strategy. I will show you how it works. I will actually do a dedicated video to show you how this actually works. Okay, you must be probably asking yourself, what about places like these ones where there are just gaps, right? It simply shows that there were an enormous number of buyers who stepped in. Like, there was too much buying pressure, that such that price just jumped without forming this candle. You see, you know what? Let me actually explain it this way. When too much buyers stepped in right after this candle closed, it couldn't form another candle at this close because the price opened higher. You must probably understand that, don't you? Okay. Now, if you are probably asking, okay, how do I find entries, and how do I find a fair value gap that's valid? Okay, we simply follow the same principle that I said. The candle before the big move and the candle after the big move. You see? So in this instance, I am only marking out the wicks, like where the wick actually was. And notice how this works. Notice how this works. Price broke above our fair value gap, retested the fair value gap, and went upwards. Simple, right? Simple and straightforward. And well, let me show you another example. Let's say maybe somewhere like maybe here. We can do this on. It's actually kind of great. So okay, now you know. Yeah, hit the like button and subscribe. Catch you on my next video. Stick around if you want to know more on trading. See you on my next video.